And we're back with the Athletic Arena podcast. This is going to be week one of the 2024 college football season. Last week we did all right. We were what, two games off? Two
Hmm.
games off from 97,000. It,
2 games, 2 points, but it's all good.
well, a point and a half is what we lost it by.
Yeah.
Um, but it's okay. I know you hit on your double chance bet. I mean, take money where you get money. That's how gambling goes. But let's talk about this week, what's happened so far in the NFL. CD Lamb got his contract. What is it? 34 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's right under Justin Jefferson. These wide receiver contracts are starting to look like quarterback contracts. So quarterback contracts are going ridiculously through the sky.
I don't like the contract. Okay, I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. But because of how the market's going, so Brandon Ayuk, Jesus, I don't even know who's going to get him in between San Francisco, whether they want to re-sign him now or they're going to let him go. And then Jamar Chase, there's so much going on with contracts and like, oh man, this market is like
And
it's
seeing
really about to be crazy.
Jamar's doing it right. He's not doing a holdout, he's doing a hold in. So even if he don't play regular
It's
season,
still there.
he won't be
Yeah,
fined.
yeah, he's still there. That's the thing.
Yes,
People
he
that don't come, like Trent Williams and all, that's totally different.
yes.
Yeah,
So like for Trent Williams, since he's not showing up, if he starts missing games because it's a holdout, yes, he will get fined and forfeit. I don't know if they'll forfeit their game check money, but
yeah,
you do get
it's a percentage of it or something. But yeah, it's like because I was looking at his contract, I'm like, oh, he's like 36, so he's probably about to be 37, going into 40, and I'm like, oh, and you want more? So he's trying to break the bank, and 49ers they just did that with Bosa, and they got people coming up. They don't have a quarterback really. I mean, they do, but they're gonna have to pay him. He's the one that can hold out, and there's nothing y'all can do like they can do about it. Um, man, yeah, but they did make good draft picks with that. So I mean, they have options, but whew, 49ers, I don't think they're in a good position going forward.
well,
Going forward, buddy.
you
Oh
just
man,
you just paid McCaffrey. You're either gonna yeah, and Bosa, you're gonna want you just paid Trent
oh
Williams,
my fault.
but
Hey, and Debo.
yeah, you got to
And Debo.
pay, and that's who do you want more? Do you want Debo or do you want Brandon Ayuk? I
I'll
mean,
take a wide receiver. I already got a running back.
they're both pretty deadly. I mean, and then
Yeah, but McCaffrey,
Kittle's
McCaffrey's
coming
the
up.
main running back.
Yeah, Kittle's coming up. You're gonna have to pay him. You got Wilson on the defensive side that's gonna want to get paid. I mean, who you can't pay everybody.
Yeah, this is going to be like the 49ers players. They're going to be in, limousines eating steak, and the owner is going to be eating ramen fucking noodles, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be
So
crazy. Well, not really, but yeah, get what I'm saying.
it's
So
yeah,
I don't,
I don't know.
I'd have to figure it out. But then again, I kind of understand in a way because that tax in California is insane. So that they might be trying to. I can understand it. So they might have to like review some things and come over to like help that out. That's in a way that's not fair to them because maybe on paper they're getting paid more, but somebody that's not even on their level might get paid more somewhere else in another state or something, and that's not fair.
Okay, so if I get drafted to New York, do I got to pay double taxes in New York too? I mean, do they need to get a second chance at it? Like, not every state has the same taxes, is what we're trying to say. And
Now, New York, I'm gonna be honest. If New York get double taxed, oh well, so be it. Y'all take it. It's the Big Apple, so it's all good. I ain't gonna win nothing anyway, so it's okay.
but it's California. I mean, it's moving the same way as New York is. I mean, it's that blue
Yeah.
state still, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna tax you. I mean, that's where
Might
all
got
these that's
might have
where
to review something with that. I mean, we come with a break.
Miami, I'm not sure what their tax codes are, but or tax bracket is, but I know it's not as near as high as California or New York.
Oh yeah, that's why people going to Florida and tax boat.
Florida, Texas, you got to go to a state that has basically no taxes, no state taxes,
Hmm.
and that's where you start making your money. Come to New Mexico. Put a stadium in New Mexico.
Oh my god, I would be. Yeah,
Put one in Albuquerque. Do it.
that would be wow.
Okay, maybe not Albuquerque. I mean, find somewhere nicer like Santa Fe or somewhere up in the mountains, but not Albuquerque.
Still, that would be. Oh man. Whew.
Speaking of Albuquerque, UNM made me eat my words this past weekend a little bit. I mean, yes, they choked at the end, but I did not expect them to play that kind of game.
Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah. Um, I don't know how to. It made me think. Like, hold on, this is a team over history that weren't on the same level, and they put up the fight of their lives. Like, it wasn't. They got edged out in the end. I was like, dang, that's crazy. And then I look at the Nevada game, and I'm like, boom, it's damn almost as okay. Maybe
Mountain Mountain West this year
it
is
might
going to
have turned
be,
around.
yeah, things are going to be a little different this year in the Mountain West. It's going to be crazy. Other news that came out today. Um, okay, I could clip that out. It's okay.
Cool.
But other news that happened today, Dalvin Cook signed with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with him up in New York, but
Um, but they got three running backs
Dalvin Cook, didn't they just bring in Dalvin Cook what last year, this year?
at the end of last year. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why bring a
But
guy
then
in
it
if
didn't
you're
even make
not?
sense because they had three. They already had two really, really, really good running backs, and then they bring him in. It's like, you know,
I don't know.
I don't
I
want to get
mean,
involved.
yes, Dallas did get a running back they needed because Zeke isn't it, and Tony Pollard left and went to the Titans, so it's like you bring back Zeke, and Zeke didn't really do anything last year, and he hasn't done anything for what 2 or 3 years now.
No, he did something last year. It's just when he got the ball, he did something. But yeah, that offense, New
Mm.
England, like it's like when he got that big deal, and like before that big deal, he was running, running hard and everything. It was like this, right? Well, that's the thing. It was like feed me. He got fed that money, and he
And
stopped
then,
doing that.
yep, he said, "Stop feeding me."
Yeah, exactly. I'm good.
Yeah, he
So
said, "Stop feeding me the ball and give me more food." Is what that motherfucker said.
yeah, so I mean, it's a totally different thing with everything like that. So
Um, More news out of the NFL. Russell Wilson named Steelers starting quarterback week 1. How do you feel about that? Being a Schittsburg fan and all.
I'm I'm gonna say it's probably the best because he's not gonna turn the ball over that much. Justin Fields, even though he's like I would say has the more higher ceiling and is more explosive, especially running the ball. Russell Wilson, and I watched Atlanta with their ones, so that's what we play week one, right? Um,
Believe so.
it's about to be really bad. They like the run game with them. Even they just picked up Judon, but I don't even think he's showed up to camp or anything yet. He's still trying to get a contract or some money. So and that's just with everybody, I guess.
I
NIL
mean,
deals in college and money in NFL, they're just like, I want more.
I don't
So
know.
with that and how Travis Etienne, like how he was running through their like gaps like this, boom, 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 boom. It was insane. So I have no words for week one. I'm telling you that right now. And I think Atlanta's favorite, actually. Um,
There's a reason they're favored.
who
Atlanta.
I don't know. Who's their reason?
Uh, they
Bijan.
they just signed. They have Kirk Cousins coming in. They still have Bijan back there, and then who? Justin Simmons is going to be back there playing with not Von Bell. Jesse Bates. I mean, Atlanta got a little
That's
bit
a good
better.
combination. Okay. Now the safeties. Now I would say, oh, they got the best safeties in the NFL.
Yes, they do, and they got two of them.
Um, as far as quarterback, I mean, he's had like half a year off. Still, if you go fourth quarter for the last 4 years, he's still way ahead of everybody in interceptions. I'm not worried about Kirk Cousins. And plus they don't have Justin Jefferson on the field to save him. So I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, I'm good.
I don't know. I still think they got something to prove. I think Atlanta does. I think they're gonna be better than what people think. That's why I picked up Bijan in fantasy this year in one of my leagues. What else? What else in the NFL? I mean, we don't have no games this week. It's a little bye week for everybody.
Yeah,
Next,
after they did the 53-man cuts,
yeah.
which
Which is was there any, I don't know, was there any surprises with y'all that you weren't expecting?
Quiz Watkins, yeah. Quiz. Like I was like, so but then again, I mean, they kind of explained it. They said, Quiz Watkins, you're super fast, but you can't catch, you can't play special teams. Roman Wilson is just as fast. He can catch and run routes. It's you got to go. It's ceiling versus. Well, this is where I stop. So yeah, I mean, uh, a different team can pick them up, but I was actually surprised in that. But it is what it is, you
Yeah,
know.
we kept a linebacker, and I don't want to butcher this kid's name, so I'm not even going to attempt it. But 45, he led preseason in tackles. That dude, it's like in Ingo Moda or something like that. That dude's going to be something special. If I mean, yeah, he's going to take a back seat. You got Jermaine Pratt and you got Logan Wilson back there, so
Logan's a household name. Yeah, he's a Bengal, man. He's a household name. So
yeah,
yeah,
Logan is. I don't know. I still say that 2020 draft is Zach Taylor's best draft he's had as a head coach. Like you had Jermaine Pratt, you had Logan Wilson, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow, like, and then Akeem Davis Gaither, and there was somebody else. Oh yeah, Carmen Jackson, but he's gone. I'm glad he's gone. He didn't even dude is terrible. I'd rather have old fucking Billy Price or Bobby Price back instead of having Jackson Carmen, and Price sucked. Like that was the best trade Bengals have pulled off in the last 3 years is trading him for what's his name? Defensive tackle. I forget his name. For the Bengals. He played along BJ BJ Hill.
yeah.
Yes, that was the greatest trade of all time. They released Billy Price like a month later.
Hmm.
So I mean, we pretty much just got it. We just stole a guy from the Giants. Like, great. And then that's the other thing we haven't even talked about. We got Sheldon Rankins from the Texans. We picked him up this year, and he was a beast last year. So our defensive line, yeah, he did pretty good last year for the Texans.
No, not the fact that he did pretty good. I know he did pretty good. Y'all got him.
Yeah, after DJ Reader left, we picked up Rankins. Sam Hubbard's coming back from injury, yes, and we got what this the guy that should have won sack leader last year, Trey Hendrickson. Yes,
Should have won.
should have won it. Should have won it. I believe it was only a half a sack or a sack and a half that, and it took him.
Yeah, we know.
It took
We know
T.
who won.
It took TJ the last game to do it. Don't get me wrong, but boy, y'all better put some respect on Trey Hendrickson's name.
I'm gonna tell you. I knew about him when he was in New Orleans, and so I was watching a Bucks game. Brady was back there, and it was Brady was hot. And by the time he went like this and took two steps, Trey Henderson was coming off that edge like it was nothing. And my homeboy, because he was in the Xbox party, my homeboy was like, he was like, yeah, who is that dude coming off the edge like that? It's crazy. And it was him.
Yeah, Hendrickson. That's why we paid him the contract. I mean, we paid him last year. He tried doing the little contract dispute where it's like, hey, I want a new contract, but bro, we just paid you last year. You got to wait another year before we can even think about giving you anything. Don't get me wrong. The money's, I agree with them. He needs to be paid more for, what's the word? For the output that he gives. He's underpaid. He's one of the top defensive ends in the league and has been one of the top defensive ends in the league. And I believe he's been in the top 50 or the top 60 for the last 3 years, 3 or 4 years. He's been in the top 60 three, 4 years running. So, I mean, he's one of those top guys and he's being underpaid.
Mhm.
But when you got names like Burrow, uh, Jamar Chase, I mean, they're going to want their money. Every year, salary cap goes up, but whereas with the way these contracts are looking, how's it's going to be hard to pay everybody. Just like I'm saying with San Francisco, Cincinnati's going to be in the same boat next year. I'm pretty sure we're letting T walk. I mean,
Mhm.
that's kind of a given. I just hope he doesn't go to anywhere in the AFC. Go to the NFC. Hell, go to Seattle. Go.
They're in a crazy situation because uh, yeah, they're in a real crazy situation. DK's number one. That other guy, he's coming up and he's pretty much trying to fight DK for number one. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, they're saying I've been hearing rumors of him going to Buffalo next year, but I highly doubt. Please don't go to Buffalo, T. You go to Buffalo, I'm getting rid of this helmet right here. I'll fucking auction it off. I don't care. Like, I'll get a new helmet, trust me. It's it's not a big deal. But I hope he could stay. I hope they work something out, but I mean, he's not going to be paid what he needs, especially if you're going to have to pay Jamar this year, next year, one of the two. It's just not going to work unless you restructure Joe's contract, and I doubt you'll be able to restructure his right now because he's still on his. I think that as I,
Third,
be-
third year?
I believe no, I believe this is his first.
No, that's the second year. Yeah, it's the second year. No, it's his first year on the contract.
Yes, I want to
Yeah,
say
it's
it's
his
his.
first year on the contract, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was last year was his last year of the contract or this year. One of the two, but I
So,
know he's cut. Yeah, we're fixing to start coming up, and then believe year three is when we pay him the most at like 56, 57 million. So I mean, boy, you better be hoping that salary cap goes up and Mike Brown don't get too fucking cheap because everybody knows Mike Brown's cheap. If it wasn't for his daughters coming in to help take over, Cincinnati would not be where it is right now. Katie Blackburn has been doing a hell of a job, and I forget her sister's name, but them two, they've been doing hell. They've been renovating the stadium. They got new turf. They've got new lights. They've got hell. I need to go back so I can see everything new they have. They redone the little bar areas. Like I need to go back.
Hell yeah.
It's all right.
I would say,
It's all right. If everything goes good, you know, Bengals will be in the Super Bowl in February in New Orleans, and I'll buy me a ticket to go.
that'd be cool. I don't see it happening, but if it does happen,
Honestly, if it
but y'all don't have
happens,
to wait. So yeah, I would say I
if it
I wouldn't mind it.
happens, I'll tell you this, if it happens, you will not see me in New Orleans. You'll see me in Cincinnati at a watch party somewhere, probably at the Banks. Because last Super Bowl we went, forget whose it was, but we went to a watch party there, and that was fun. But I think this next one we'll do the Banks because that's where all the bars are, right next to the Red Stadium. It's awesome. It's almost like a mini Vegas except with bars. It's just bar, 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 bar. Kind of like you remember how 69 used to be, how that little area used to be in El Paso? How it was just
Yeah,
bar after bar after bar after bar after bar. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, and it's on both sides of the street for a good 2 blocks. Dude,
memories.
Cincinnati's fun. It is fun. And then you got the casino right down the road within walking distance from the banks. I mean, it's a 15-minute walk to Cincinnati.
Hmm.
It's nice, bro.
Hmm.
We'll have to go to a Steelers Bengals game one year,
Hmm. I'd be down with that.
but I'm not going to Pittsburgh.
Why not?
I, I'm not going
Six.
to Pittsburgh. If I go, I'm gonna hide a Bengals flag somewhere in the stadium where nobody will find it.
They'll find it.
Nope.
Oh,
Watch. Trust me, I will find a way. I'll figure it out. I'll get in touch, bro. I know a lot of Bengals fans. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot watching this podcast right now. Y'all get with me and I ever go to Pittsburgh, it's to hide a flag, a Bengals flag in the stadium somewhere. So I could curse y'all motherfuckers. We were on a curse for 30 years. It's time for y'all to be cursed once or twice.
nah, it'll be the Ravens.
I don't know. As long as they got Lamar Jackson, they're gonna be all right.
Who?
I mean, they'll make the playoffs, but they won't do
Who?
shit
What?
in the
Oh,
playoffs.
you talking about the guy we never see? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we never see him, so it doesn't matter.
Mm. I mean, it always between us and Baltimore, when we have had to play Lamar's for the most part tore us up with the running game, but
Jamar Chase. I
I
don't know
mean,
what it. I don't know if it's like a vendetta. I'll say this: when y'all play the Ravens, I don't know if he has a vendetta against them, but it's like I swear they are triple covering him, and he's like, I don't care, and
no,
he's shredding them like,
that's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. He has
oh, yeah, the Chiefs that one too.
yes, he has a personal vendetta. Like Jamar has a personal vendetta with the Chiefs to where like they even asked him who the number one quarterback in the NFL was this last year, and he refused to say Patrick Mahomes. He's a Joe Burrow. You mean Joe Burrow was number one? Yeah, I know, because I'm not saying the other guy's name. I know y'all want me to, but I refuse to say his name. Like not only that, but when you got four or
Respect.
five six guys around him, and he's just burning you out of a fucking well,
Slant. Slant across.
was it a slant or was it a slip route?
It was a slant.
Dude, yeah, when you got it, when you run a
Oh, I'm
slant,
gone.
break it for 80 yards and got six guys
I'm
behind
gone.
you. Don't get
And
me,
one of
and
them, I mean,
he
if he
does
took
do
the
it,
angle right, he could have got him, but he still got burned off of
mhm,
that. So
and he still
yeah.
does it against, I mean, like you say, yeah, it's the Chiefs and Baltimore. He really balls out against those two teams. Now, if he could ball out against Cleveland, that'd be a different story. I mean, I don't know what it is. The last 3 years, we cannot beat fucking Cleveland. Like, Cleveland has
I
had our
don't know
fucking number.
who they have it on now. They always bring some. There's one thing I can say about Cleveland. They keep decent linebackers. Oh, defensive line, whatever. Corners, they always have like really like under the radar good corners. They always have had that. I think.
I don't
Yeah.
know. People can say that Bengals have an easy schedule this year, but there's no other team that's playing 3 games in, I think it's like 10 days, 12 days, something like that.
Hmm.
And it starts with Dallas. It's Dallas. It starts with Dallas, which irritates me because the last 3 times we played Dallas, it's been in Dallas. Like,
But why don't they switch it? It's crazy.
yes, like switch, like it usually switches, but people I've talked to, they say they swap like every 2 years unless it's playoffs. But
I don't know.
I don't want to go to the Dallas Stadium to watch the Bengals play. I just don't. I'd rather go to Cincinnati. It's way cheaper.
You get, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It's
You
way
get
fucking
robbed over
cheaper. Like
there. You get
I could
robbed.
probably get a suite in Cincinnati for the price it would be for me to get nosebleeds in Dallas. Like,
And why is that in Jerry World? Like I was sitting there telling somebody about the Cardinals when I went to the Steelers Cardinals game, and it was like 300. I was at row eight, front like in the front row eight. It was $300. I don't. I would get nosebleeds for 300 in Dallas Stadium. Like,
not even my buddy and I were looking it up because he came into some money and he was like, "Hey, we'll go to Dallas Cincinnati this year." Bro, because it's a Monday night game, we started looking up tickets, and for nosebleeds, it was for 2 tickets for me, 2 tickets for him. It was going to be almost 4 grand. And I'm talking like that's not even mid level, like that's upper level. That's almost by the fucking Jumbotron there. Like,
whew, man.
bro, for that price, and bro, me and Maria don't even pay that price for we get next to the Bengals tunnel, that first level, and I think we get like 12, 13, between 10 and 15 rows up. Like we're right there. We're right next to everything. Like, and we don't even pay $500 for tickets when me and her go.
Mm-mm. It's location. I don't get it, but it's definitely location. Like
But I will tell you
Dallas
this,
and the
ever,
Raiders, they're the
ever,
same.
ever since Bengals made it to the Super Bowl, I have noticed an increase in ticket prices. I have noticed that. I mean, teams that win and you got players that they want to see, you get people to show up and they'll pay it.
Mhm. It
Just
happens.
it happens. But
I
anyways,
remember.
that's enough NFL talk. Hell, I think we've already covered what a good hour almost, 45 minutes of the NFL, and there's not even game this week.
Yeah.
But don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Athletic Arena Podcast. If you want to follow along on bets and want to use Bovada, there is a link in the description, and there's also a link in on YouTube for you to follow along with, and you can gamble with us on those. Again, gamble at your own risk and what you can. Don't be gambling your houses away. You got to do that. I don't have that little sign at the bottom right here that gamble responsibly. Fucking I don't have
I
that.
think you're gonna have to say that every time, and I might laugh every time you say
I
it.
have, bro. That's just to cover. That's to
I
cover
know
our
that
ass so we don't
people are
get sued.
crazy.
Yes,
It's not even that people are crazy, bro.
I'm not trying to get sued. Like, I don't have any money as it is. Like, try
Oh
and take
man.
what I have. I mean, it's not much, but I do have it.
Oh man.
Oh, but we got college football this week. Um, we got a few games tomorrow that are kicking off. The one that I really, really like is Colorado and North Dakota State. That one, Colorado's favored by 9.5. I take that bet all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take it all day. I mean, if you want to do a safe bet, bump it down to 7.5. I think Bovada allows you 2 points when you alter your lines.
Um,
It's either 2 points or a point and a half, something like that,
yeah.
depending on the game. But I mean, for me, if I could take this up to 12.5, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to win by 13. Colorado's going to come out and try and prove a point. You got Travis Hunter returning. Of course, you got Dion's son, Shador returning. They actually have a couple of bigger defensive linemen this year, which everybody knows last year that's where they struggled was trying to get to the
Stopping the
quarterback.
run.
Yeah, and stopping the run. They didn't have no big
Um,
defensive linemen.
but the thing is, even though they were like trying to stop the run, like that Oregon game, okay, granted it's Oregon, but that dude Bucky Irving led the league in like rush per carry. So it's and which I'm crazy that the Bucks end up signing him. But back to college. But yeah, so with them having bigger, better people on defense on the defensive line, and Warren Sapp as a defensive line coach, they might do something. It we'll see. We'll see.
I that's just me. But then again, don't get me wrong. Last year, the first what 4 weeks, that Colorado was the talk of the NCAA of college football. Like they
Oh yeah.
were, everybody was there. Everybody was jumping on the
Oh,
bandwagon.
yeah. They were jumping on the back. They were buying the glasses, Dion's
Yeah,
glasses. Yeah.
yeah. And then they had who was it? They were having all the rappers and Pat McAfee and all these players and famous people on the sidelines during games. And I mean, they were getting rowdy. There were some good games all the way up until they played Oregon.
Oregon.
And then once they played Oregon, it was like everybody just wanted to see them lose.
No, it was no. After he said they're playing for clicks, we're playing for wins, and I'm like, oh, I killed it. That was it.
Yeah.
And
But
yeah, they
I'm
started getting.
they're in a new conference this year. They got I mean, I don't want to say a whole new team, but they do have a new team. And I mean, I'm taking Colorado with the points on this one.
Yeah. I'm going Colorado money line. I think. I don't know. I think it might be a good game, just because I'm more worried about not the defensive line. I'm worried about the offensive line, like how Shadori didn't have really time to do anything. So that's the only reason why I'm saying I'm gonna go money line. I do believe Colorado, but protection is key.
So these next three games, if you can't find them, they're ESPN bets or Bovada. Well, the next four games. I know for Utah, Southern Utah, you can't find that one on Bovada right now. Hopefully that one comes out in the morning. But Utah is favored by 38 to Southern Utah. Um,
42 and a half. That game, like they played them a year ago, and Utah won 73-7. That's all you need to know. So
again, that's self-explanatory. I mean, we're both going with Utah. Are you? I mean, a safe bet is to take Utah money line, but I highly doubt. I mean, who's going to want to take a minus 1,200 or a minus 2,000? Like that's a lot to
that
cover up,
one,
especially if you're
that
parlaying
one,
it.
it would probably be anywhere from 2,800 to 3,500 of his money line.
Yeah, I mean, In other words, you got to pay if how do you explain it? To win $100, you got to pay $3,500 to win $100.
Nah,
Something.
you pay $500, you might win $5.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not worth it. Like if you're not gonna at least double your money, like why even put the bet in? If you're losing money on the bet, you that's a bad bet. I mean, it
Mhm.
it may be a give me bet, but that's how you screw your odds, and you can win more money other ways. But on to the next game, Kansas and Lindenwood. Kansas is favored by 45. Uh,
I think Lindenwood had 3 wins last year. They got blown out by teams which this week they're playing, and I was like, damn, that team's sorry. That team's sorry. That team's sorry. And I was like, oh shit, they beat Lindenwood. So yeah, it's a lot of that with week one and with the top 25. They're playing it's pretty much hey, you want a sparring match with a weak team, they throwing them in the with the Wolves. So
Pretty
yeah.
much. And like I said, these don't Missouri, Murray State, Mizzou's favored by 46 and a half. Again, that's another give me. I mean,
Yep.
you could take those. North Carolina State and West Carolina. North Carolina State is favored by 32 and a half. Those are just three like, hey, welcome back to
It's
football. And here's a here
it's
let us
a
just
tune-up game for the season that's in the season.
yeah, let's just put you of the DVD of Gladiator in and let's just watch people get destroyed. Like that's what those 3 games, 4 games are going to be. Um, but that's just Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Friday night we have Oklahoma versus Temple, which Oklahoma is favored by 42 and a half. I'd try to bump it down a little bit if you could, but
Yeah, the 38 or 39 and a
that
half. But other
that's
than that, even at 42, that's Temple. Like, worst team in beating Temple by worse than that. So this is Oklahoma. That's all I can say.
yeah. So
Um,
what are you taking your spread at? I'm taking mine at 38.
38 and a half. That's what I got.
Um, is there any other games for Friday that you know of that you're
I
thinking
don't
are
know.
like, yes, I can take those bets?
I just got them written down in a random order. I don't even have it by day.
Yeah, me
uh,
neither. Um,
I know the Toledo game. I was like, definitely Toledo. Pittsburgh also. Kent State, like they've gotten worked by everybody. Like I think even Akron beat Kent State, and Akron's playing Ohio State. So those 2 games, yeah,
yeah,
you can take the
that's
spread. You can definitely take the spread.
what's the spread on the Pittsburgh game?
What was it? 24 and a half. I bumped it down to 23 and a
Mm.
half.
See, the only issue I have with Pittsburgh is every time I took them outside of money line, I lost.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It,
But that's
it,
ACC. This is like they're in there with Toledo and Ball State and all of them. So yeah, Kent State is the worst of the worst. I think they only had 1 win last year.
okay. So, and then I know for Friday, you got Friday Night Lights, so you got high school football also. Artesia destroyed Carlsbad 44-7, and the only reason Carlsbad scored was because our third string was in, and that was like at the end of the game. I mean, it
Mm-mm-mm.
really didn't matter. Artesia goes to play Hobbs. Eh, bro, Hobbs lost to Portales. Like they shouldn't have lost to Portales. Like Hobbs should have destroyed Portales, but they lost to Portales. So Artesia might be looking. It's early to tell, but the way they looked last week, they're going to be the favorites to win it. Well, I know 5A high school football here, which Artesia's the most winningest high school in the past 50 years in the United States. A total of 34 state championships with 30 coming in the last 50 years.
That's crazy. That's
Bro,
crazy.
they fixed the turf. Like the stadium was already badass, but they added all these LED lights and bro, when they score a touchdown, like the bowl glows orange and the lights, bro, it's almost like an NFL game. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, it's dope. And now they got new jerseys to go along with it that are from Under Armour. Bro, they're sick.
Mhm.
All black with orange stripes. Look sick. But anyways, back to college football. High school football's done. Um, we got UNM in Arizona, which we talked about UNM a little bit earlier, and Arizona's favored by 31.
It wouldn't be one of my ones. No, no, actually it would. Only reason why is because of what they did last year, and they put number two Washington in the fight of their life, USC. They had them in their fight of their life. Uh, they blew
That is
Utah
true.
out. Everybody else besides those two teams, they blew out. Um, yeah, I
Uh,
mean they're ranked already. We're gonna see with New Mexico. I mean they put up a great fight against you know last week against Montana State. This is a actual ranked team. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I
Yeah,
would take that one just because it's. I would take that one as
I
far as me.
if the spread was a little less, maybe I don't know, maybe 10 points less, I would be like, yeah, let's take it. Because I just think the first half is going to be too close. I I think Arizona's going to start running away with it in the second half. I don't see five touchdowns in the second half alone. Like it could happen, but I mean, hell, New Mexico has right now. UNM has is number one in the nation for defensive scoring touchdowns. They scored two defensive touchdowns last week.
Mm-mm-mm.
Let's put it that way. I mean, I heard one of the commentators saying it last week, and I was like, that is the most funniest shit I've ever heard. Like when you can brag about that for 1 week because you know it's not gonna happen again next week. Like,
You never know. You never know.
never know. But
Yeah.
to me, if you could take Arizona with the money line, just take Arizona money line. That one might be minus 1200, but somebody will
Oh,
take it. I mean, I'm not, but
yeah.
that's one of those for the show. I'm gonna take them by 28. What's your pick for that one?
As high as it can go, just
Um,
because, just as high as it can go. But if it's safe, if I was betting, it'd be as high as it can go. But if I was just betting, then I'd take it right where you're at. But 27 and a half, just for that little margin. Just for that little margin.
so for the pick for the show, so we could say if you won or lost, we got to see who wins it.
Mm-hmm.
What are you taking? 27 and a half or 33?
27 and a half. That's guaranteed. That's pretty much guaranteed.
I see. Smart bets, smart bets.
Yeah,
And
that's pretty much guaranteed.
with in a game that I think is going to be pretty close, you got Clemson, number 14, visiting Georgia, number one team. Georgia's favored 13 and a half. I could see Georgia winning by 10. I cannot trust Georgia yet because Georgia last year could not cover a spread to save their life. Yes, they pulled out some wins, but they could not cover anything and they were playing no-name teams. These no-name schools like
Georgia money line. That's what I'm sticking with.
See,
That's
that's
because of what you said last year when they played University of Ashton Martin and they only won by 42. Yeah, they
yeah,
only
no,
won one game this year. So
I
no.
forget
I,
which game it was, but they were supposed to be they were favored by like 40 something points, 44 points, and I was like, "Oh, that's a give me. Like they're going to run away with it." They won by a field
Ashton,
goal.
yeah.
Like I
But
bro, they
that
had
wasn't
multiple
Ashton.
yeah,
It was game of the year.
they
Was
had
that
multiple
Vanderbilt?
games. Yeah, it was multiple games. I think it was Vanderbilt. But they had multiple games that came down to a field goal
You know
or
what?
a last second
It was
score.
Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt took off on them the first half and they had to come back and win.
Yeah,
So yeah.
you're right. It was. And that's one of the that I remember now because I messaged you and I was pissed off because it was like fucking Georgia. And I think honestly, I think that was the last time I took Georgia on any bets. If you would have took uh whoever played Georgia to cover every game, you would have fucking made out last year.
Oh, you the streets.
Oh,
Oh, you the streets.
yeah,
Yeah.
you would have hit like 3, 4 weeks in a row of just
Yeah. Remember how they had
covering spread.
that touchdown parlay with Christian McCaffrey saying you the one? It was, I don't think it was 3-4. I think it was a little bit more than that, but still, you would have won some money just because they didn't cover. The only time they did cover was when I know for a fact when they got up against Kentucky. I was like, wow. And
Hmm.
I actually took Kentucky to cover, and they blew Kentucky the fuck out. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really mess with Georgia.
Until
I'm
Georgia
not.
can prove, yeah, until Georgia can prove they can cover a couple of spreads this year, I'm only taking them money line. I don't even give a shit if they're playing UNM. I'm not taking the spread. Like they could be playing New Mexico State University. Hell, they can play fucking Division II school down the road in Portales, the Greyhounds, and I still wouldn't take the fucking spread. Like
Mm-mm.
I just won't right now. You gotta make me believe, Georgia.
That's one thing that's crazy with Georgia, though. That I just remembered. Remember that basketball player where LeBron he's looking at him because he's taller than LeBron James, and he's like, "How old are you?" He's like 15, and LeBron's like, "Get your birth certificate," and he's like 7 foot, right?
Yeah,
So the guy, Big Ja, actually went from basketball and went to football, and now he's an offensive lineman for Georgia
that's
at
crazy.
7 foot.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Um, okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next game. Penn State, number 8 Penn State visiting West Virginia. And this is I don't know why, but Penn State's only a 8 point favorite.
I said I was looking at and that's what I was saying. Like they're an 8 point favorite. I was like, okay, I'll take it to 9.5 just to be safe. They beat them by 21 last year, so hey, I'll take it. I would take it
That's
easily.
yeah, that's me. I would bump mine up to 9.5 for them to win by 10, but I mean, I know me when
That
I say that and I'm like, oh yeah, that's an easy one. I guarantee this game will be the opposite of what we say.
I don't know. It's they already beat them last year the same way. Actually, worse than what that spread is.
I'm taking
And
it. I'm taking it. And I am even gonna put this one into one of my parlays this weekend just to because you know the odds on that. You bump it up, bump your spread up more than what they're giving, they give you better odds.
oh yeah,
That might be a plus odd right there. Plus 200, plus 300. Um, let's see. We got Iowa taking on Illinois State. Iowa is a 22.5 point favorite. I don't know.
20,
Iowa,
20 and a half, I do it. 20 and a half, I do it.
but
Illinois State's horrible.
didn't
Uh,
Iowa State end up the Blackhawks, right? Didn't they end up having a bunch of issues just towards the end of the year?
yeah, but this is This is a 3-win. They're playing all these teams are like top 25, and they're playing 3-win teams. So it's like the only person that's playing a decent team is Georgia, and I don't know what Florida and Miami are doing. They're just like, let's get it out of the way now. So
Yeah.
yeah, that which is crazy, but it is what it is, in my opinion. But yeah, everybody else is just go ahead,
Okay.
sit
We'll
down.
go.
Let me hit you with this bat real quick. That's all it is.
Okay, yeah, then I'll take them at 20 and a half. So drop it down 2 points just to cover the 21. I could see a 3 point or a three touchdown lead. I could see that. That's not bad. This game, Tennessee and Chattanooga, I mean, it's not up on ESPN bets and it's not up on Bovada yet. So
It's that's bad. That's bad.
whatever the
The
spread
only
is,
team
whatever the
they
spread
beat,
is, take it.
yeah, whatever. The only team that they beat was Furman, and Furman's playing Ole Miss. Last year
Mhm.
Alabama beat them 66-14, and they scored those 14 while the third string was in. So yeah,
Is right there.
that's a wash.
Yeah, I mean,
Easy win.
like I said, it's not up on Bovada. It's not up on ESPN bets. Maybe tomorrow night, late Friday night, maybe. So that way people can't throw this in a crazy parlay. But as of right now, that you can't bet on it. Maybe you can go into a casino and bet on it, but online you can't bet on it right now. Don't forget, follow along, follow us on Facebook, YouTube. I'm sure you're watching this on YouTube. Um, like, follow, share. And then if you want to follow along with us on Bovada, click the description in the link. That'll take you so you can deposit your money and start playing with us. I think what minimum first time it's easier just to start off with 50 bucks instead of 20 bucks and they allow it first play. You get bonuses if y'all are into those bonuses. Um they also have live dealer. They got live dealer blackjack, baccarat, roulette. They have slots, they have poker. You want to gamble on some horse races, they got that too. Um, I just think they have the main horse races though. I don't think they have like local horse races. I could be wrong, but don't forget to
Mhm.
don't forget to follow us on there. Um, Next game we got South Dakota State and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's favored by 9.5, which I would take that all day. Oklahoma State has a great running game. Like
Mhm.
they did pretty good last year in the running game. So I mean, and it's South Dakota State. That's
Mhm. Yeah, I was just let's take it at 6.5 if I could. If not, then just money line. I don't know. I think a lot of teams are gonna. I'm trying to stay conservative, but also on teams like okay, I know Oklahoma State, but South Dakota State, I'm not really didn't really follow them, but kind of like let me see. So I'll just
yeah.
keep it
Keep it
honest.
safe bet. Safe bets. Next game we have the number 2 team in the country, Ohio State, taking on Akron. They Ohio State is a 48.5 point favorite.
47.5, and you're good.
I
It'll win by
always
60 or 70. But yeah.
I mean, I don't like taking spreads when it's more than 40 and you're giving me a spread at 50. Uh you said 47.5.
Oh yeah. That's that's college football's first $20 million team. Look at how you won.
I'm gonna
That's
take
exactly how they describe.
I'm gonna take them at 44.5 because that's just for the picks. I doubt anybody will let you bet at 44.5, but who knows? You may be able to catch the live odds as it's going along, and it might jump down to 28.
Hmm.
I don't know if some of y'all like doing that. I mean, I know on Bovada you can go in and do live betting as long as there's not a drive going on. You can gamble on the game from where it plays out. I kind of like doing that because when you think a team's going to come back in the second half and they're like a plus 1300, oh, yeah, let me just okay, $20, fuck it, and they end up hitting it, like that's a huge win. You wouldn't get those odds any other time unless you were doing the live betting.
Hmm.
Next game we got number 4 Texas taking on Colorado State. Texas is a 32-point favorite. Are we gonna get to
Hmm.
see Archie Manning this year?
If it's enough blowouts, maybe, but not really. I don't think you'll see him this year. With this game, I honestly want to stay away from it, but if anything, I would take that as money line. Just because Colorado State, I mean, nah. They only play because they ain't got no offensive line. So yeah, I would take Texas with the spread. Stop giving these teams credit where they don't belong. So yeah.
um, for a safe bet, I would do money line Texas. Um, but for here, I'm gonna do Texas by 28.
Yep.
Just a safe bet. I mean, I just
Yeah.
don't think I mean, I can trust Texas, but I can't trust Texas. Watch, they're gonna win by 21. That's what they'll win by. I'm telling I did it always happened that way last year. Maybe I was off just because it was my first year college football or second year college football, but I'm gonna drop it a little bit this year. I'm not just gonna jump all out like I did last year. Next game, we're at this game, like you said, we got was it 19 Miami and taking on Florida? That's a rivalry game. Like you're kicking off the week 1 with a rivalry game, and Miami's a two and a
Yeah.
half point favorite.
Flip a coin. That's pretty much how I look at it. But if I had to pick a team, it would be Miami. They were ranked last year. Surprise. One of the teams they did lose to was actually Georgia Tech. So,
Yep.
but I would say only because Florida's coach said that they had some growing pains, and I think he's kind of worried about what's going on with this team he has. And well, I would go with Miami.
The spread's only 2.5. Would you take the spread?
Oh no, just money line. Fuck that. Who knows? It might be one of those kicking games or something like. No. Straight up, money line. It's not going to hurt that much anyway if I did. But yeah, I would take that money.
I'll take the spread. I'll take the spread for Miami, even if it is a kicking game. 3 points. Come down to the very end and kick a field goal. Perfect. Um, this next game might not even be available to bet yet. Ole Miss and Furman. I know Bovada doesn't have it. ESPN Bets doesn't have it yet. I mean, that's actually these next 3 games. That one, UT Martin, Kansas State, Idaho, and Oregon. I mean, those are gimmes. I mean, unless they're doing the spread at like minus 58, minus 59 and a half. I mean, don't take the spread. But then again, hell, we've seen what it was a 74-point loss last year. Like, yeah, we've seen,
Who was that?
wasn't it
Oh,
Michigan?
no. It was. I think that was Oklahoma. Yeah, I
It
think
was
that
Oklahoma. Oklahoma just
Oklahoma beat
straight
somebody.
yeah, straight
Well,
destroyed
I know
somebody.
who they beat. I just don't want to say it. It's kind of a yeah. That was yeah. I'm not gonna say the team.
So like I said, just be on the lookout for those three games. Like I said, they possibly might show up early, late Friday night, early Saturday morning. Um, it it's possible. It's possible they may not even allow you to gamble on those. Um, we have number 7 Notre Dame taking on number 20 Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a 3-point favorite. I would take them at 2.5.
With Texas A&M,
Yes.
I would take Notre Dame only because Texas A&M. I think their main running back he's out for the year already. So yeah, I would go with Notre Dame
Money
with
line?
the spread. Oh no, with that
Oh, to
plus,
cover?
yeah, make it easier. But if I could bump it up to like, I think it's 2.5. If I could bump it up to 3 or 3.5, perfect.
Yeah, it's at 3 right now. So I mean, I
Yeah, three and a
like
half.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
I
I
think
said, with Bovada, I believe they go up to a point and a point to 2 points, sometimes 3 points. It all just depends.
yeah.
Next game we got Michigan, number 9 Michigan taking on Fresno State. And that one, bro, have you seen the Netflix special yet?
No.
Bro, they have the Netflix special of the sign stealer for Michigan. It's the documentary on this motherfucker.
See, hey, the first thing when you said Michigan, I started smiling. I was about to say, let's see if those sign stealing motherfuckers can actually do this on Michigan. But I mean,
Bro,
it is what it is.
and the first thing the guy says is his very first coaching job was with Navy. And
Mm-hmm.
they were asking, he was like, well, what do I do? And they're like, well, if you want something to do, you can try and figure out the other team's signals.
Wow.
And within, I don't know, I guess he figured it out within like three or within like the first 4 or 5 plays, they were playing Ohio State. Navy was playing Ohio State. And before the play would even be ran, they would be calling out the play. Like they knew the plays before it even fucking happened. I started watching it. I mean, I got up to where Michigan hired Harbaugh. So,
Mm-mm.
I mean, I didn't finish it. I mean, I got in at what 6:30 this morning from work, so I I did my little pre shit for this, pre-schedule and all this for the podcast, and then I took me a nap. So, I mean, I didn't watch it all.
Yeah. Make
But
sure I was in that Notre Dame one for myself. But
back
yeah,
to the game.
Michigan.
Yeah, you need to watch that one. You need to watch that, and then hell, McAfee just did a little thing. He talked about it too on his podcast today. So you gotta watch
Yeah.
it. But Michigan is favored by 21. Eh, I would go 18.
I'm going plus 23 with Fresno State.
Whoa.
Let's see if that sign's stealing because they got caught already. So I don't think they can't do the same thing. So
Whoa.
let's see if the sign stealing that stuff is really, let's see if it's legit.
Well, it's different this year because they have helmet communication this
Yeah.
year. Not they don't have signs anymore this year. I think there's only one team that still does old school sign.
Mm. So, oh yeah, definitely. You
But
can't steal signs? Yeah.
bro,
God bless Michigan. Yeah, I'm definitely taking that spread.
I don't know, bro. Even though Harbaugh's gone, I mean
I'm
that
going plus. I'm going with the plus.
okay, okay. And that does it for Saturday's games. Sunday I only have USC taking on LSU. LSU's favored by 4.
4. Yeah, I'll take that.
Uh
Money line.
If I could take LSU by 1.5, I would, or even a half a point. Like this to me, I would not take the spread for LSU. I don't even want to take money line for LSU right now because they fucked me last year. And they fucked me in week one. And I told myself not again.
Oh, then I know what the last game is. The last game, there should be no surprise in what I'm picking.
Well, I already know what you're picking. But that's well, I mean, we'll get to that game here in a minute. So you're taking LSU with the spread at 4.
Hmm.
Who's USC's quarterback?
Nobody knows.
Just give me L.
Mhm.
I'll take LSU money line. They're gonna fuck me. They're gonna piss me off. I already know it. I'm gonna put a little stay away so I know when I'm going through this, and I'm going to put in some bets later on in a couple days. I know to stay away from this because I know LSU is gonna fuck me. And then for Monday night, I have number 10 Florida State. How the fuck are they number 10? Going
Wait, wait till the new rankings come out. They'll drop. Yeah.
They needed to drop like way fucking more. They should not just be 10. Like you just lost
No.
to Georgia Tech. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once this week is over with, the rankings will change. But now it's not because it was week 0. So with that, plus 20,
huh?
Boston College.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Boston College always plays Florida State tough with this new team. And yeah, I don't believe him. Like, I believe in Joe Hendry. I don't believe in this Florida State team. So with that, I'm going plus 20 Boston College.
Aren't you a fucking Florida State fan?
Yeah. And that says a lot. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Actually, that's like one of my check ones that I'm like definite about. Like, yeah, I'm going with the plus. My homeboy, my homeboy he's also a Florida State fan. He said, "Why are you going 20? Why don't you go 14 or 15? It's gonna be closer than that, even if we do win." I'm like, shh. So I mean, he sees what I see.
I'll I'll take it. I'll take that too. I mean, I didn't even look. Dude, who does Auburn play this week? That's one team I did not. I usually check on them. I got a buddy that's an Auburn fan, and I didn't even I didn't even look to see who they were playing this week.
I don't know, but yeah. As far
Oh,
as the honorable mention game for me, it would be Kentucky versus Southern Miss, and the reason why Southern Miss was absolute garbage last year. Their only bright spot, sadly, was Frank Gore Jr. He's on the Bills, and he's actually like he was lightning. He's definitely will be number 2 running back. Um, After that, everybody else is gone. So
yeah,
yeah,
Auburn's playing Alabama University or Alabama A&M. That's wow. Auburn is a 47.5 point favorite,
I would
and there's no
almost
money
be
line.
inclined to take it because I see what everybody else does to Alabama A&M, especially Alabama. But
But it's Auburn though,
yeah, I know that's what I'm saying.
and
So
there's no money line. So I mean, it's kind of what do you do? You know?
I would for that one. I would stay away. It looks good, but I would stay away from it.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that one too. But that's gonna do it for this week's video. We have plenty of games that we covered. We covered a lot in the NFL. Oh, that's what I was gonna ask you. NBA question. What do you think the rumors of Curry going to the Lakers?
I highly doubt that. It's too much. Yeah, it's too much money. Like right now, everything's all crazy, and with his contract, I don't see it.
But there is a report that came out that said Curry told somebody that once one of the big three, which Draymond, Clay, and him leave, then he's done. He's done too. Well, Draymond's done. Like he, I doubt he'll ever come back and play for Golden State. And then Clay's,
In
we're
Dallas, but he's.
yeah, Clay's in Dallas now. So
I'll tell you this, Clay, whatever his salesman, whatever agent he has that sold him his contract with Dallas, hey, that dude needs a raise because in practice he's not creating separation. He's not those injuries really took a toll on him. And yeah, I mean the good thing is that he's a knockdown shooter and he'll have a lot of open shots because of Luka and Kyrie. He'll have easy time just catching and shooting. That's all he'll have to do and play defense. That's it. As far as creating his own shot, he won't have to, and that was a big thing in the finals with like PJ Washington was great. Um,
yeah, I
a lot of
just
other people weren't as far as shooting open threes, but if they have him and he's knocking them down, even half the clip of what he used to do, it'll be good.
yeah, and it would have helped. How it would have helped Dallas in the finals. I mean, this last year. I mean, they needed somebody else besides Kyrie and Luca because hell, that's all they would do is double and triple team Luca. And Luke, they handled Luca in the finals. Like, there's no questions about it. But having Clay out there as another spot up shooter, yeah, that's gonna be playing man is gonna be hard against them. I think.
Mm-hmm.
But what we have month and a half, 2 months before NBA starts,
Yeah, 2 months.
something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, yeah, about 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, give or take
Okay.
2 months. So we'll be able to we'll lock down more on NBA as it gets closer. But for now, we're gonna end today's show and we'll be back next week. Yes, we'll try and get it done again Tuesday if we can. If not, we'll do Wednesday because I'm leaving Thursday.
Mhm.
Yes. Be in New Orleans. Riverboat Casinos, baby. I've already found some. I've already looked them up. There's one like 2 blocks around from the hotel we're staying at.
Nice.
Yes. But let's go ahead and end this video. Don't forget to give us a follow, a like, follow, and share. YouTube, Facebook. Gamble responsibly. And y'all have a good weekend.